Things just took a shocking turn for the New York Knicks in free agency, as there's been a lot of noise surrounding who their next signing is going to be, and now the Knicks have been linked to multiple veteran star players on the free agency market that they do have a ton of interest in, and these players do have interest in joining the New York Knicks as well in hopes to chase an NBA title, and we are going to break it all down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here. We're going to jump right into things as always. If you guys are part of that 64% that's not subscribed to Knicks Digest, make sure to subscribe for daily New York Knicks updates. We are not stopping right now. Free agency is still very much underway, and the Knicks still have moves to make for this team going forwards. While there has been a lot of discussion about this, we know a move is coming very, very soon for the Knicks, and Leon Rose has been very diligent. Now, there's been a bunch of names that have been rattled off, listed that the Knicks have had interest in or mutual interest in. Whether it's the Ben Simmonses of the world, the Landry Shamits, Amir Coffey, there's been a lot of guys who the New York Knicks have been linked to throughout this free agency period, and it really has become this big storyline because the Knicks, they want to add another player who they think will have a huge impact on the team's success. They don't just want to add someone for bench depth. They want to add someone who is going to have a big impact on the court and also be a nice veteran to have on this team. And look, there's been a lot of discussion around who it may be. There's really just been a lot of guys coming out, and Russell Westbrook is the newest name that we are looking at right now who has been linked to the New York Knicks. As the Knicks have the second best odds to sign Russell Westbrook, the former MVP, in free agency throughout this time. Now, Russell Westbrook is being held up right now by Ben Simmons, who is about to make his decision, with the Knicks being one of the teams on it, and so are the Sacramento Kings. Both those teams have the highest amount of interest in Ben Simmons, and Simmons is deciding between those two teams, along with the Phoenix Suns and the Boston Celtics. With all that in mind, Russell Westbrook will likely go to one of the other teams, whether it's the Suns, whether it's the Knicks, whether it's the Kings, maybe the Celtics as well, but likely that feels a lot less so as they do need some more size on that team. But what we see right now is the Milwaukee Bucks, the Miami Heat, the Dallas Mavericks, the New Orleans Pelicans, and the Minnesota Timberwolves, all as the other teams that have been listed as some of the favorites for Westbrook. But it's really been the Kings, the Knicks, and the Bucks who it feels like have a real shot to land Russ right now. And that's obviously a very interesting update to see with this Knicks team because Russ, last year, he put up 13.3 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists, shooting 32% from 3 and 45% from the field. He also did shoot nearly 44% on corner threes as well. And considering that 35% of his shots were from behind the arc last season, that is a big enough sample size to be very intrigued by those numbers, as Russ is someone usually viewed as someone who cannot shoot at all, and that 32% from 3 definitely is not denying that fact right there. So, thinking about that, thinking about this whole situation, Russell Westbrook does become an interesting piece for the Knicks to bring off the bench, and the reviews, the opinions on the signing are going to be split. So with that in mind, the Knicks are going to have to decide if they want to go with Russell Westbrook because he's someone who is polarizing. But the things that we know about Russ is that he still is a talented player who will help the Knicks win games. And on top of that, I mean, Suns fans, Nuggets fans were calling for Russell Westbrook to be the starting guard alongside Jamal Murray throughout points in the playoffs. And frankly, it made sense. Russ's numbers were good in the playoffs as well. We saw him put up 11.7 points, 3.7 rebounds, and 2.6 assists in the 2025 NBA playoffs, where he played around 24 minutes a night. The shooting was at 31.7% from 3 and 38% from the field, which wasn't great, but he was playing excellent defense, and Russ, above all else, is viewed as a phenomenal teammate. People love Russell Westbrook, and basically everyone who plays with him says the same thing. He's the best teammate that they've ever had. Russ is so ride or die for his team. No matter what jersey he puts on, he's playing for the number on the front of his jersey, and it's crazy all the hate that he's gotten and people saying that he's a selfish player, considering the fact that Russ literally is the guy who has been accused of stat padding more than anyone else in modern NBA history. And by modern, I don't mean like the full modern. I mean like the last 10, 15 years. But like with Westbrook here, it becomes this situation that you sort of have to decide, is he the right fit for this team? The Knicks, it makes sense why they would go for Westbrook if they don't land Ben Simmons. They get another guard who can handle the ball and who can be your lead guard, so Jalen Brunson can, one, play off the ball and not be the only ball handler on this team. Now, getting Jordan Clarkson is going to help that out a lot as well, and having Jordan Clarkson and Russell Westbrook on this team, along with Deuce McBride, would lead to a sort of a backup when it comes to these guards off the bench for the Knicks. They would basically have to run this interesting lineup where they're doing a 3-guard set out of the bench instantly, and that could lead for Russ to having less minutes. So I would not be surprised if he would be more interested in a role with the Sacramento Kings, just considering that alone. So I think with Russ, it does become the situation that if you don't get Ben Simmons, he's an interesting guy to look into. I've been very clear. I do like the idea of Amir Coffey for this team. I think the Knicks do have enough ball handling. Adding Jordan Clarkson to this team and having Deuce have a summer to really get things going. And also having a lot of noise about Tyler Kolek likely getting a spot in the Knicks rotation, at least to some degree, next season as well. I don't think the Knicks should go out of their way to sign Russell Westbrook. I get why they're interested in Ben Simmons because he's 6'10" at the same time. It does add some more help in a few more ways. And I love Russell Westbrook. He's one of my favorite players growing up, but at the same time, I don't think he's the right fit for this team right now. Meanwhile, there has been noise on other guys as well, specifically Kevin Love. Kevin Love is known to live in New York City, and he went to a few Knicks playoff games and took this photo here with J.R. Smith, who's wearing a Carmelo Anthony jersey, his teammate on the Knicks, of course. In the middle is Karl-Anthony Towns, Karl Towns Sr., and then Kevin Love. So what we see is this Knicks team that has a guy in Love who lives in New York, will only play for a big market team because he's on the Jazz right now, but we all know he's going to get bought out because the Jazz are not going to be able to trade Kevin Love for anything at this point in the season, especially considering that no teams really have money at all. So they're going to end up buying Kevin Love out. And once they do that, because Love wants to be bought out, he's not going to show up to Utah. Like, I highly doubt he's been to Salt Lake City since the last time he played there when he was with the Miami Heat. There's no way when he heard he got traded off the Heat to the Jazz, he definitely was like, all right, I'm in New York right now, and I'm not going to Utah. I'm going to tell him, hey, sounds good. See you probably never unless I play next season and, I'm on a different team because I'm not playing for the Jazz. And Jake Fisher mentioned that the buyout doesn't typically get really figured out until the next situation is fully determined. And as Fisher said, I don't think you're going to sign the paperwork to give up guaranteed millions of dollars until you have your next situation lined up. With Kevin Love, to my understanding, he really only wants to be in big glamorous markets. New York or a Los Angeles type of situation, likely meaning the Lakers, but I highly doubt he'd be against going to the Clippers as well. Love, again, he lives in New York. He was going to Knicks playoff games just to hang out. It seems pretty clear to me that if Kevin Love were to get bought out, his first choice would likely be the Knicks. Now, at the same time, if it is the Los Angeles Lakers, that does make some perfect sense. Obviously, him and LeBron James are very, very close from their time winning a title in Cleveland together, and also LeBron sort of facilitating that trade to begin with. Love and LeBron do have a very close relationship, so if he does end up going to the Lakers, it wouldn't be surprising either. But it feels like Kevin Love either is going to play for the New York Knicks, where he currently lives, or for the Los Angeles Lakers, where he went to college in UCLA. So both those situations make a ton of sense. Both these teams could use Love. If the Knicks got Kevin Love, they would have more big man depth. Love and Gershon Yabusele would be a nice, interesting pairing together, and Love is someone who does add some really important factors to this Knicks team. Now, last season, obviously, the numbers weren't great. He only played around 11 minutes, but that's what we'd probably see in New York as well. He's about to be 37 years old. His career is winding down. This very likely could be the last season that we see of Kevin Love in the NBA, which really, really hurts my soul. But he put up 5 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist per game. He shot 35% from the field and 35% from three. 58% of his shots were threes. He is an excellent voice to have in the locker room. Everybody loves that man. He's awesome. He's such a good guy, and he truly is someone who people really gravitate to, and I think he would be a good veteran teammate to have on this Knicks squad. The Knicks don't have a ton of veteran guys who have won championships before, so bringing in Kevin Love, I think, would be great for that reason. Now, it seems like the Knicks are more guard-focused, which could sort of lead to a different situation here, and Ben Simmons is still a guard, even though he's 6'10", and he does cover the bases of adding another, guy with some size to him as well. He put up 5 points, 5 rebounds, and 5.5 assists last season in 22 minutes of action. The higher minutes were with the Brooklyn Nets before ending up signing with the Los Angeles Clippers, where the numbers did go a bit down, and then the playoffs he barely played. But Simmons still does add some serious interest to the Knicks. And honestly, we're going to see where it goes. Where do you guys want to see where it goes? Let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to get back to you. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day. Go Knicks. Yes, I almost started choking.